Hey! Good! You're awake. They arrested you at the border because you're not subscribed. You should subscribe. I don't know what that might do to you next.
Paradox has been working hard on patching out issues that have popped up with the release of No Step Back. Today we're going to talk about the most important changes coming up in patches 11.3 and 11.4. Patch 11.3 will be released in the next few days. It contains a few AI and bug fixes, but the most important one is that we finally don't have to listen to the supply warning whenever we put a fleet in a port that has a garrison in it. Yay! Well done, Paradox! Patch 11.4, which is considerably bigger, is intended to be released in 2 weeks. In order to save time, I am only going to cover the most important changes announced for patch 11.4. One thing that is exciting about patch 11.4 is that it adds some significant boosts for democracies, which are sorely needed. So, let's start with balancing. First off, the Stalinist and For the Motherland campaigns have been nerfed. Their bonuses for PP, war support and XP gain, alongside the breakthrough bonus, have been reduced. Army and Navy spirits are going to be cheaper, costing 20, 35 and 50 XP respectively. All air spirits now cost 50 air XP. I personally think this changes for the better because XP gain is already scarce enough in NSB. Naval bases are being made considerably more expensive. The base cost has gone from 3000 IC to 5000, and every additional level adds another 1000 IC cost. This will add a significant challenge for the build-up in Africa on both sides and for Manchukuo. Now for my favorite part of the patch though. Democracies get access to the Relief of Command Army Spirit, which reduces Military Advisor PP cost by an additional 50%, and increases Army XP gain by 25%, something that democracies really needed because, honestly, XP gain in democracies is dread. Several allied countries now start with more command power. This means that you can get attachés to the Spanish or other civil wars way earlier. There was also a mention of democracies getting cheaper political advisors, but that seems to have since been reverted. For you Dozer Blade enjoyers, I'm sorry, but the Dozer Blade tank module has been nerfed. The entrenchment bonus has effectively been halved. Several Italian military advisors have been improved, and supply planes have been nerfed. Their supply has gone from the 1.2 that they were generating right now to 0.2. This means that they're still good, and honestly, you shouldn't be afraid to use them, but they're no longer as overpowered as they are right now. As for the last of the important balance changes, unfortunately, base equipment conversion, as in the modifier, has been removed from the game. Tanks have been made slower as well, and heavy and super heavy tanks are going to be made even more expensive. This effectively means that the conversion trick, which I explained in this video, is no longer possible, and tanks are going to be even more difficult to build now than they were before. There's also been a plethora of AI changes. The most important takeaway from this is that the AI stopped civ greeting, railway guns have better positioning, the Soviet AI had several improvements, and the AI will stop overproducing divisions without having the proper equipment. As is the case with most new DLC releases, the biggest part of this patch is the amount of bugs being fixed. For the most part, these are fixes for errors that were being caused by playing the game without the DLC or the AI just crapping out. There aren't any particularly notable bug fixes. Most fixes have to do with nations that have had their focus trees updated. Some important ones are the volunteers will no longer be lost when returning, naval invasions have been fixed again, and the Soviet Civil War will no longer bug out if both sides are communist and the DLC is not enabled. After I finished this video, another addition was made to patch 11.4. The Baltic Focuses are being rebalanced to give less factories, but higher civilian factory construction speed. CAS has had their ground attack nerfed slightly, and the tank gun techs have been moved back slightly in the artillery tree, but have had their heavy and soft attack buffed. Finally, tank destroyer battalions have had their width reduced, back to 2. Personally, I'm not a fan of tanks being made even more expensive. There's a good amount of reasons for it, but I think that warrants its own video. What do you think about the new balance changes? Let me know in the comments below. My name is Big Smokes, and as always, have a good day.